You ready? We on? Okay. Welcome everyone to tonight's Committee of the Whole for July the 21st, 2020. The council should have the minutes from the July the 7th Committee of the Whole meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, do I have a move to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And the motion carries. Board of Zoning Adjustment, Mayor Pro Tem Whitten.
Thank you. We have one supernumerary vacancy. It's an unexpired term, begins immediately and ends January 20th, 2023. And I would like to nominate Letitia Khalif.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. See any discussion? Comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Okay, and the motion carries, and we'll confirm that later on in the agenda. Green Space Advisory Board, Ms. Whitten.
Yes, we have one vacancy. Term begins August the 8th, 2020 and ends August the 7th, 2024. The incumbent, Alice Buchanan, served one partial and two full terms. Ms. Buchanan did not fill out an application for a second term. So we do have a couple of applicants. I would like to nominate Maureen McMichael.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries, and we will confirm Ms. McMichael later on in the agenda. Before we go to the Planning Commission, I asked the city manager just to explain how the Planning Commission works, because it's really different than most of our boards and commissions as to how we go about making these nominations. So I'll ask Jim just to give us a quick lesson on that. Jim?
So as you are aware, the Planning Commission is actually a board that's governed by Alabama State Code. And part of that regulation in the Alabama State Code, it's 115215. It allows for or requires that the mayor is the person who nominates a board member to the Planning Commission. There is one member on the Planning Commission that the mayor actually appoints. That's the mayor's appointee. But the other members of the Planning Commission, it is incumbent upon the mayor to nominate those members, and then the council to approve or not his nominations. But all nominations for Planning Commission have to originate with the mayor.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that before we get started? Everybody good? Okay, so we have two appointments tonight to make for the Planning Commission. My first nomination is Nanette Reese. She has served one full term and will be seeking a second full term. My first nomination is Ms. Nanette Reese.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Is there any discussions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And that motion carries, and we will confirm that later on in the agenda. The next nomination will take the place of Mr. Wayne Bledsoe, who served one partial term and one full term. My nomination tonight is Ms. Wendy Birmingham.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I'll take the lead on discussing this. Ms. Birmingham has lived in Auburn for about 20 years. She works with therapeutic foster care. She has 3 different college degrees. She has gone through leadership, Lee County. She has worked with the Lee County Youth Development Center. She was recommended to me highly by Ms. Laura Cooper, who is a person in our community that I have the utmost respect for. Ms. Birmingham, to me, is a person who will make methodical decisions, who will be very committed to this job, who will be very interested in learning, and I believe she would serve the city of Auburn well. Any other comments? Connie, your square is lit up. I didn't know if you were about to say something. I apologize. Any other comments? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, I believe that's 2. So that motion carries, and we'll make that official later on in the agenda. I would like to thank all the people who went through the interview process for the Planning Commission. We had 9 applications that included Ms. Reese, who was seeking a reappointment. The 4 people that we interviewed this past week were all excellent. I hope that they will continue to seek opportunities to serve this community. Each of them had something to give, and I appreciate all 4 of them putting their name out there, and we look forward to working with Ms. Birmingham and Ms. Reese in the future. Any questions on the agenda for the city manager? Okay, Jim, do you have anything for us?
I do not.
Okay, do I have a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we are adjourned, and we will get the regular meeting started at 7 o'clock sharp. Okay, thank y'all. Welcome to tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for July the 21st, 2020. Lindsay, the roll call, please.
Dawson,
Here.
Dixon,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Hovey,
Here.
Parsons,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Taylor,
Here.
Witten,
Here.
Anders.
Here. During the committee of the whole, we made a number of appointments to boards and commissions that we will confirm later on in the agenda. I'll just once again thank everybody who applied for all those boards and commissions, and thank everybody who went through the interview process for the Planning Commission. And we look forward to working with all of our new nominees here in the near future. Under Mayor's announcements tonight, I would like to, we got an email from the city manager yesterday making an announcement that our very own Arndt Seatman has been named to, was appointed by Governor Ivey to the Governor's Innovation Commission. Arndt has done an outstanding job for this city for a number of years. When I'm in City Hall, I get to see Arndt a lot, and he is hard at it each and every day. All you got to do is look at his desk, and man, that tells you the guy's working really hard. But Arndt, thank you for everything you do for Auburn, and congratulations on this appointment, representing our city with the governor, and she recognizes talent for sure, so we're proud of you. Related to what's going on now with the pandemic in our state, we talked about this over the last couple of weeks. I just want to let you know as a community that there's an active effort going on to put together a communication plan that really represents our entire community. Many stakeholders are being engaged in that. The Chamber of Commerce is certainly taking the lead, but they are including a number of people and a number of institutions in our city that you would expect to be included. And I look forward to supporting their work in the future. And we look forward to them helping us continue to communicate the best practices related to the times we're living in. And speaking of that, I would ask our community to continue to pray for everyone who's been impacted by this disease. Specifically tonight, I would State Senator Randy Price and Lee County Commissioner Johnny Lawrence are fighting as hard as they can fight at East Alabama Medical Center right now. And please consider your time of prayer to lift those guys up and their families as they continue to battle. But a number of people are. We read our newspaper. We've gotten our messages from the hospital. We know that times are tough right now. It's incumbent upon all of us not to become part of the problem, but to be part of the solution. We can certainly do that through prayer and a number of ways of support and by living our life the right way. And we've been talking about since March to keep our hands washed, to keep 6 feet of distance. And now we know that masks are the law of the land. And we ask people to remember that as they go about their daily lives. And I would ask people to also be mindful of those people that you are around and to make sure you're not endangering people by accidentally coming across and spending time with folks who could be in a vulnerable situation. But for Randy and Johnny, we just want to let them know that we're praying for them and hope the best for them as we move forward. Does anybody on the council have an announcement they'd like to make tonight? Okay, at this point in time, it is for citizens' communications on items on our agenda. If you'd like to speak to the city council tonight about any item on our agenda, please raise your hand and we will call on you. You have 5 minutes to speak and give your name and address for the record.
Except for those items that have a public hearing.
Yeah, there are some items on our agenda tonight that have a public hearing. We'd ask you wait for that. Is there anybody who'd like to speak? Okay.
That's Stephen Farrington.
All right. Stephen Farrington. Stephen, you there? Stephen Farrington, you with us?
Did you learn to talk?
Okay. All right, we'll go back.
Oh, we missed it. That's right. Allow him to talk. Yep.
Okay, hello?
Yes, you there, Stephen?
Yes, sorry, I didn't have control of the technology here, but
That's okay.
thank you. Mayor Anders, members of the City Council, good evening. I'm Stephen Farrington, and my wife and I reside on Denali Lane in the Solomere subdivision in West Auburn. A small portion of Solomere residents whose homes abut the Webster property at 1950 Martin Luther King Drive were notified by mail of a request for a change in zoning from rural to development district housing. While this zoning notice was limited to the adjacent homeowners, the short and long-term impact of this planned development creates significant challenges to all the residents of Solomere. These challenges include traffic flow, traffic volume, neighborhood safety, maintaining the tree canopy, and maintaining our property values. The residents of Solomere Court and Denali Lane on the western edge of the subdivision would be first and uniquely affected by the plan. Over the weekend, 34 of 35 neighbors contacted on Solomere Court and Denali Lane signed an expression of concern to the City of Auburn regarding Phase A of the Plainsman Lake Preliminary Development Plan. This expression of concern has been shared with Council Member Griswold. Our neighborhood looks forward to working with the City of Auburn, the Planning Commission, and Council Member Griswold to ensure that the Plainsman Lake development process thoroughly and responsibly addresses the concerns of the residents of Solomere. Mayor Anders, members of the City Council, we appreciate your kind consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Anyone else for citizens' communications on items on the agenda? Okay, no more. All right, seeing none, we'll move forwards. City Manager's communications.
Under City Manager's communication this evening, the first item of business is the consent agenda. Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item separately?
Yes, Jim. I would like to pull 6F3.
This is Bob. I'd like to pull 6B Bravo.
And this is Kelly. I'd like to pull 6G in Golf 3.
This is Penny Taylor. I would like to pull 6D as in dog.
Okay, anyone else? All right. Jim, you want to take these in the order that
I'll
they
take
are
them
on
in
our
the
agenda?
order on the agenda. Item 6B is a resolution in support of Governor Kay Ivey's amended Safer at Home order.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Comments or questions?
Yeah, Jim, the reason that I pulled 6B was I wanted the citizens of Auburn to hear our resolution, be aware of the fact that we are in support of a statewide mask order. But also, I also wanted to suggest and make the public aware of the fact that this order from the state expires on July 31, and this council doesn't meet again until July 4th, I believe. It's the Tuesday, the first Tuesday. So in the event
August 4th, Bob.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, August 4th.
Yeah.
So in the event that we don't hear of any type of extension from Governor Ivey, I think it would serve us well to be prepared to address the fact that this is expiring on July 1st. I like the language of her order, and I think it would be easily adopted by the City Council if we have the will to do so.
Bob, if you don't mind, I'll take a response on that. That is the end of next week. I really believe that we'll be seeing or hearing some type of thought from the governor in her office, maybe at the end of this week or certainly early next week, as to what the plans might be to either end the order or continue the order. I have no idea of what, nobody's shared any ideas or plans with me as I sit here tonight. But I do believe ahead of the 31st, we'll know. And I do plan to make my own communication and contact with her office at the end of this week to ask them what their thoughts are moving forward. So hopefully I can share that with the council early next week if I can get some kind of resolution potentially. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Bob. Jim, as far as this resolution, it'll be on our website after tonight, available for people.
It's on there now.
It's on there now. Okay. All right.
It's part of the package.
I got you.
And we will have it linked to the our COVID-19 website.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay. All right.
Thank you,
Any
Jim.
other? Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Any other comments or questions regarding this particular item? If not, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Hold on.
Aye.
Aye.
I had some comments, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Yeah.
I believe, I echo Bob's concerns. I think we ought to be in a position to act immediately in the event that either the numbers don't change much or that the governor doesn't extend it. I would hate for us to be in the situation we were in just a couple of weeks ago where we were in receipt of hundreds and hundreds of emails that are supporting either side of the position. But if I believe we need to come to a decision and have something waiting in the wings, you might have some caveats in there that say we will enact this upon the certain conditions or something. But we don't want to be between council meetings and be expected to react expeditiously. So I don't know if there's anything we can do this evening about that or not. But I would certainly welcome anything that we can do to keep us out of that same situation.
Okay. Jim, that's the 31st is a week from Friday.
Oh, yes.
So if we're here this time next week and we're not sure what's going to happen, what would be some of the options for the council at that point in time?
Again, nothing has changed since the last time I addressed the council, reminding you that you do not have authority unilaterally to pass an ordinance like this. So you have to have the approval of the state health director. He also is the one who the governor had to rely on to pass the statewide ordinance. So it seems to me that if he were, and I don't know, but if he were not amenable to having a statewide ordinance any longer, I'm wondering if he would be amenable to the city of Auburn having their ordinance. So we can be prepared. I mean, we already are prepared. We have a draft ordinance that is very, very similar to what the governor passed or what the governor mandated. So should the council want to meet at that time, we have an ordinance ready to go if you can get the approval from the state health director.
I appreciate that, Jim. Thank you. I would hope that someone on staff or the mayor would be in touch with the health director ahead of time and say, you know, we have a what if situation that we'd like to be prepared for. As much preparation as we can make, I think would be very beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if I also may add, to assess the state situation is one thing, but to assess local situations is an entirely different matter. And I think the health director is cognizant of that fact. If our numbers are trending up continually in the manner that they are now, I don't anticipate any kind of resistance from the health director because we have a serious situation here.
I don't disagree with you at all, Bob, on that. Beth, did you say something earlier? Were you about to speak, or I apologize?
No,
Okay.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, you're good. Anyone else? Okay. All right. So we do have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. Any opposed? Okay. Resolution carries forward. All right.
Item 6D is the adoption of the 2020-2024 consolidated plan for the CDBG program and the 2020 annual action plan for the CDBG program.
Okay,
Hold on just 1 second, Connie.
okay.
No problem. Do I have
Move
do
for
I have a
approval.
motion?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All right, go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
Okay, the only thing that I wanted to do, just in case the citizens are on the line and they can hear, I just want you to explain the CDBG funds along with the extra funds that they got from the CARES Act. Will it all, go together, and how is it going to be distributed? And I know we got it in our packets, but I just want, want the citizen to hear.
I'll let Al Davis, who is in charge of our community development department. I'll let Al give you a little bit of an overview of the CDBG program. Al?
Good evening, Council. The CDBG program is one of the city's key programs for helping low to moderate income citizens. We are fortunate this year we were funded twice by HUD with our normal appropriations, which we get annually because we're an entitlement city, and because of some additional funding we got through the CARES Act, which specifically has to be focused on addressing and responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. Those dollars you were able to approve at your last meeting. We would then submit all that information to HUD, which we're in the process of doing. We expect that HUD will approve and release those dollars probably sometime, we hope, late August, early September. And at that time, we will be able to notify the public via social media, news releases, et cetera, when we'll begin to disperse those dollars. And again, those dollars specific to COVID will be hopefully helping citizens that are in need of funding because of they've gotten behind in rent or mortgage, or they need help with utilities. We have dollars set aside for that. Also, funding has been set aside to help the food bank because they have done a yeoman's job in the last few months trying to help individuals deal with food insecurity. The item before you tonight is we were fortunate enough after you approved the city's appropriation for this coming year to get some additional dollars from HUD, about $53,000, which increased our allocation for this coming year. Those dollars we then we're requesting that we allocate them tonight to street resurfacing. We really adjusted that category down a little bit initially so we could help some of our agencies that we got some additional agencies that requested funding. So we shifted a few of those dollars to assist those agencies. So the street resurfacing project was not fully funded. So these dollars would go back into fully funding that street resurfacing project, which would be Bird Street when this cycle coming up. So that kind of gives you a general overview of how we plan on using those dollars, both with the COVID funding as well as dollars with our regular appropriation.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks, Al. Okay,
Thank
any
you.
follow-up to Mr. Davis's comments? Connie,
Thank
any
you.
other questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
No, he explained what I needed him to explain. Okay, thank you, Al.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments from the council? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right, that motion will carry.
Item 6F3 is the acceptance of an easement for utilities, sidewalk, and lighting from the union. This is on property located at 900 West Glen Avenue.
I'll be abstaining from this vote.
Okay, all right, do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
All right, got a motion and seconds. Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
All right, one abstention. Motion carries. All right,
Item 6G3 are two appointments to the Planning Commission, Nonette Reese and Wendy Birmingham.
Move for approval.
Second.
okay, have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Mr. Griswold?
No, I just wanted the vote to be on the record.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay.
All right, one nay. All right, thank you. The motion carries.
Those are all the items we took off the agenda, Mayor.
Okay. Do I have a motion for the rest of the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved.
All right. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, consent agenda carries. Ordinances.
Under ordinances this evening, we have item 7A is the issuance of general obligation warrants for the Wright Street parking deck in the amount of $16 million.
I'll introduce ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
We have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Hearing none. Lindsay, roll call.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes.
Hovey,
Yes.
Parsons,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes. Are there any questions or comments from the council? Okay. Seeing or hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved.
For approval.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. Lindsay with the roll call.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes.
Item 7B is William and Meredith Bronner requesting annexation of 11.3 acres located at 324 Pear Tree Road. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Hearing none. Lindsay.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Anders.
Yes. Do I have any questions or comments from the council? Okay. Seeing or hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Lindsay with the roll call for approval.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Anders.
Yes.
Item 7C1 is Mike Mayer requesting to rezone 139.9 acres from rural to development district housing for property located at 1950 Martin Luther King Drive. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request and a public hearing is required.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening?
Yes, I'd like to deny unanimous consent, please.
Okay. Unanimous consent has been denied, Jim. So at this time, the public hearing has been denied as well.
Right,
Okay.
I think it would be good to announce to those listening that there will be a public hearing at the next meeting where this was brought up.
All right. This will come back at our August the 4th agenda, and there will be a public hearing at that time for those of y'all who are wanting to participate tonight potentially. Okay. All right. Moving ahead.
Item 7C2 is Mike Mayer requesting to rezone 4.09 acres from rural to comprehensive development district on property located at 2202 Martin Luther King Drive. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request and a public hearing is required.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening?
I would like to deny unanimous consent on this item as well, please.
Unanimous consent has been denied. This will be taken up on August the 4th. The public hearing for this will also be that night on August the 4th. Okay,
Under resolutions this evening, we have item 8A is Moses Mason requesting conditional use approval for a climate-controlled storage building and U-Haul facility on property located at 136 West Creek Parkway. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request, and the public hearing is required. And I would like to add that you may have noticed this is an item that you have previously approved. The reason it's coming back to you is that the applicant has made some changes to the storage building. And so that's why it came back through Planning Commission to you.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
have a motion and a second. At this time, we'll open the public.
Is a resolution or ordinance?
This is resolution.
Yeah, it's a resolution.
Move to approve.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. At this time, we'll open the public hearing. If anyone would like to address the city council, please give your name and address for the record. And is there anyone?
And remember to raise your hand on the attendees list.
Yeah, please raise your hand. All right, seeing no one, is there any comments or questions from the council?
Yeah, I just got one question. You said there's some changes to it. Can you sort of briefly say what the changes are?
I believe the storage building will be larger than what it originally was. Originally the climate controlled storage was just one story. I believe it's multiple stories now. And Megan, do you want to add anything to that?
Forrest Cotton, he is unmuted, and I'll have him add to that for us.
Okay.
Yeah, on the prior plan, the changes are mostly improvements aesthetically. The colors were a little stark on the initial version. They've been made a little more muted and desirable. There are also some one-story individual mini warehouse buildings. Those have essentially been consolidated into the larger building that the city manager referred to. So from a staff perspective, this is a much more desirable end product than what had been approved previously.
Any other questions while we have Forrest on the phone with us? Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, Forrest.
Thanks, Forrest.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other comments or questions from the council? Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Thanks for keeping us accountable, Chief. All right.
Mayor, those are all the items we have on the agenda this evening.
Okay. Are there any items for other business of the council? Okay.
I just got one other question, please.
Yes, ma'am.
I think today I was looking at my email, and I noticed over on Sugar Jordan onto Richland Road that it's going to be 3 ways. Is that new? I don't really travel that area. I know that it's left, right, and straight. It's being redone.
I think we're just restriping area. I don't think there's anything changed. Our city engineer is on. Allison, would you like to address that?
Yes, we just restriped one of the lanes. There were initially 2 left turn lanes and a straight. So we now have a single left turn, a single right turn, and a straight lane. So the major change was adding a right turn lane.
Okay. That's what I sort of thought. All right. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Connie.
The public affairs announcement on that also mentioned that the lights would be changed soon. Do you have an anticipated date for when the lights will catch up with the striping?
Soon, yes. We're hoping that the contractor can get to it this week.
Okay, great. And
The
just
striping happened sooner than the electrical contractor could get there.
Gotcha. Okay, and I've also let you know we've also already received favorable comments on that change. So thank you for for taking care of that.
You're welcome.
Okay, anything else, the council? All right, this time we'll move forward to citizens open forum. This is an opportunity for any citizen to address the city council about anything on your mind. You have 3 minutes to address the city council. Please begin by giving your name and address for the record. If you would like to speak to the council, please raise your hand through your Zoom application. Okay, no participants? Okay, do I have a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.